Thanks a lot, Rico. I'm very happy to be able to speak to you. I'm not from science, not a scientist, but a practitioner. So it is a report from the workshop. Stadtwerkstatt translates to urban workshop. And here we are at the end of the presentation. It's a bit too fast. So, well, how that? Here. Okay. One sentence to the DIPAS system. DIPAS is Digital Participation System. We began with that some years ago. It has various modules: online participation, digital participation on site with touch tables. Just now, today, we have the inauguration of a storytelling tool that was developed here in the CSL. We had integrated it into DIPAS, and now we have digital storytelling for urban development projects just 3 kilometers from here right now, today. It's happening, and we have a DIPAS navigator that gives us the overview over all the processes we carry out with that, because since 2016, meanwhile, we are nearly at 130 processes, and we have collected tens of thousands of contributions. Last year, over 10,000 contributions, together with 5,000 commentaries on contributions. And this is all integrated into one big system and in one database. And a problem that arises is that if you have these huge loads of feedback of the citizens, we are absolutely happy. That is on urban planning. It's they give us really their knowledge and respond to our questions. But how do you evaluate that? It is for the local authorities who are carrying out. This is a district of Altona with 3,000 response. This is huge. So we have statistical analysis tools. This is in the COSI system. It's as well a part of our urban digital twin, so to say. We have an API, we exchange data with the system, and we have a statistical analysis. The bigger the green dots, the more response. Like here, we have 107 positive evaluations on this contribution. But we as well see, for instance, red dots, and that means we have negative evaluations. And here we have a conflict line. It is something we didn't ask for, but it showed up in the data because we asked for bicycle traffic, and this is a road problem. But anyway, you can reduce complexity with this statistical analysis quite good, but it stems only the analysis from the numbers and not from the text. The text, the statistic tool cannot read. So we asked ourselves, how can we improve the evaluation of these huge amounts of information? And we came to the point, okay, let's build an AI system. But easy said and not so easy done. And so we formed a project, and it was, we are steering it, my unit, the Stadtwerkstatt, and at the moment I'm speaking on behalf of Mateusz Lęsinski. He's the chief of this sub-project, so to say, but at the moment on Aruba and in the Caribbean. So I'm doing it. And we have the LGV, our Agency for Geoinformation and Geoinformation, and we have the HCU, which here did especially the front-end design. And we have scientific partners because all the argument analysis, the text analysis that was developed in other projects, we exchanged with them data for years, and they carried out research, and then we took back their results and formed, our language processing model. But we'll have two main functionalities. We have an analytics live dashboard. This is for the responsible persons of the proceedings because they run for some weeks and they need to look every day into it and how is it going, and as well a list of posts that may need to be moderated. Mostly the problem that occurs that people write into the contributions personal data, and we were completely free of personal data. That's why we can exchange data. Otherwise, under European law, that would be difficult. But the more interesting part is the insights tool, because this is after the process really do the report and synthesize the report. We asked the colleagues who are currently doing the evaluations, what do you do in the process? And they said, we first need to understand what have the people written. Then we need to connect these items of information. We need to cluster them. We need to bring topics together. And then we analyze it spatially. So we have a text evaluation, and that, of course, we want to represent the information into the space. And then we need to communicate that to the authorities, to the planning boards and all these. And this is done via the Insights tool. I don't go into details, but what we now can do and see is that we analyze patterns of response, patterns of impression, patterns of up to the feelings of the people which they express in the text, and we can connect that to spatial patterns. So for instance, if we ask for bicycle traffic, we can overlay that with a bicycle grid in the city. But here we see, for instance, the overlay is not perfect. And maybe it is another topic that is more important here. It's maybe the schools around which the security situation needs to be improved. We have a pre-processing pipeline. I do it very short. We have the API. The whole system has an API, and scientific institutions can get the data via this API and work with our data. And we end with sentences, because in one contribution, often there are some major positions, some topics, and so this is all sliced. And this is a pre-processing pipeline, but the main thing is this main processing pipeline, because we have a statement extraction, a label classification, category assignment, cluster identification, and lastly, title generation for the clusters and the aspects. Various LLM tools come into play here, and we train them for our specific tools, and they are all open source. I cannot go into the details here. We'll have a conference in September, and if you are interested, you're invited, and they will go very deep into the details for that. Just to show this, we are nearly at the end now. In 2025, we'll have an open source release of the entire add-on part of DIPAS, and we have the special open source release for the NLP LLM tools. We just ended with the front-end development of the Insights tool. Some things are still to fix. Then we have a qualification concept to do and to set up the training of all the experts in the districts and anywhere to use the system, because it is a little bit complex. And on the 15th of September, we are planning to have a launch conference, because the system, all the backend is operational, parts of the front ends as well as are operational. We begin now with internal testing, and in September we are going to roll it out. We have meanwhile 10 cities using and institutions using DIPAS in Germany, and because they can as well access this system via the API. They have the API as well, so we can replicate that very easily. It works in German, we must say. It's the LLMs are trained in German, so we cannot directly put it into other languages. It would be a step ahead in the next years. Thank you for your attention.